It's me, Mr. Santee, Rob McNelis, coming to you live from Copper Collar Distillery right here in the beautiful city of Santee, also known as God's Country. And I'm here with Council Member Dustin Trotter, as well as Scott, the owner of this fine establishment, the proprietor of this fine establishment. And we're here to talk about, all right, you've got 9 years sitting right here in Santee. God bless you for having done that. But, you know, times have changed. Things have gone on. You had a partner that was here that ended up moving out. And now kind of you're on your own trying to do it all by yourself as well as maintaining a full-time job. It's just gotten a little tough, right?
Absolutely. Yeah, it has gotten to be a little too much. I would love to keep the operation going, but I think right now having not a sufficient space to do the project that I need to do, the right thing to do is to shut this down so that I can start focusing on the future plan.
And there is a future plan, though. You do have the idea. You still want to do this. This is still a passion for you.
After 9 years of making liquor and getting just ingrained into the liquor
industry,
yeah, it's almost impossible to just kind of drop this and never look back. I will say that it's possible that I won't, but I think it's unlikely.
All right. Well, you're doing everything you can to maintain the license and keep that moving forward, right? So that you have the option of doing it again should you decide to. Should things change a little bit. You get another angel investor or whatever the case may be, because we're going to taste it again just because, you know, heck, we're here, we might as well taste it. And guess what? Everything, all the bottles, 50% off right now at Copper Collar, which is right here in Santee on Magnolia. What's the address?
8733 North Magnolia Avenue. We're in Suite 126. So if you're looking from the street, we're on the left side, halfway up.
Yep. So it's the building that goes way back with all the industrial buildings right next to Allegiance Heating and Air. A little plug for Sarah Wood there. But right next to them, you can't miss it. Suite 126. All bottles are 50% off between now and August 3rd, which is your final kind of shutdown day.
Right. That's my anticipated shutdown date, August 3rd. I think that might be the last day as of right now.
So be sure to get in here, and we're gonna, as we're kind of, all right. You mind? Can we sample some of this stuff here?
Of course.
Let's go. What are we gonna start off with?
So let's start with the vodka.
It's a little bit while he's pouring that. It's a little bit. So I think it was about 2015 when I first met Scott and Jason. They were great. You know, when they first came in, they wanted to be part of the Chamber of Commerce. They wanted to help out local Santee, and they were at the street fairs, you know, pouring. They did some of the golf tournaments, things like that. So I want to thank you guys and Jason for obviously, you know, doing what we all think we should do. Be a part of the community. When you come in, you know, you want to grow your business. You want to try to put your stamp on things and get there. But you guys have been great over the years. So we met. Gosh, it's been like 8 or 9 years.
Yeah,
you've been
doing the veterans golf tournament for us for several years now.
That's right.
Doing the Bloody Marys in the morning to get everybody started off.
Right.
So thank you for doing that and just truly being a part of the community. You have your military background. You were in the Navy, correct?
Yeah. So actually, that's where the name Copper Collar comes from, right?
That's exactly
so,
yeah.
Little history there.
Yeah, it's kind of an homage to the copper collar that was attached to the actual canvas suit, and then the hat itself would be attached to that collar. So as the divers were sitting on their benches waiting to get in the water, they just kind of picked up the term copper collar worker.
Really?
Yeah.
Copper collar worker.
So you see the movies all the time. You see the canvas suit, but you're right.
Blue collar worker, copper collar worker.
Yeah.
That's good.
It's not white collar, it's not blue collar.
Yeah.
We got our own thing going on.
All right.
Were they waxed canvas? Is that what it was?
Yeah, it was kind of like a waterproof kind of canvas.
Yeah. How do you? Waterproof canvas.
Yeah.
It's
Oxymoron.
it is a little bit like. And they went down some deep freaking levels.
Yes.
All right,
Wait a minute. All right, we're gonna taste this. All right. So what are we tasting here?
Yeah,
This is
vodka
vodka
right here.
Okay.
So
And this vodka was your staple. This was the first one out the gate. This was the main go, right?
Absolutely.
I remember this.
I would never recommend a distillery start with vodka, though. It's probably a terrible decision. Start with a rum, start with a flavored vodka, something like that. It's impossible to get a pure vodka when you're working with small equipment. That's the facts.
This is I don't like vodka.
I know you don't.
I really don't like vodka.
But I don't remember the history, so real quick, and then we'll get to because this is a staple.
There's a comment on the screen. I can't read it.
Scott's a good guy.
Scott's a good. Yeah.
So this was a staple. I remember, but there's something different about your process or product or something than others. I remember.
It's got a flavor to it.
Remember something like that.
It has a flavor to it.
And that's what makes it not technically a vodka. It's the The requirement is that it has to be distilled to 190 proof off the still, and then you're supposed to, from there, carbon filter it to remove any excess flavor and any excess aroma. Which we don't have that carbon filtration equipment here, so it's technically not.
Hence, it's an artisan vodka.
Exactly.
I'm reading the label right here.
Oh, I was like, wow, you pulled that out of your backside there, mister.
Hey,
Goodness.
So with that, it's not ideal for every cocktail. Like White Russians, mudslides. I don't really care for it in Bloody Marys, but some people do.
Yeah.
It has
because it does
cocktails.
have a flavor,
Right.
Yeah.
Which like vodka normally doesn't. Normally vodka is like rubbing alcohol.
Right.
And this actually has a
you're
little bit
adding
of flavor.
your stuff.
Like this would be great with like a vodka soda or vodka tonic.
Yes.
Yeah.
That would be perfect for that.
Right. The tonic and a little lime and good to go.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, what do we have next?
So this next one here, this is our gin.
Oh, I do like gin.
This is our top seller
All right.
by volume.
Oh, volume.
By the way, while he's pouring that, let's not forget next Thursday. Next Thursday we have the concerts in the park starting up.
Yeah, so we talked about this a couple weeks ago. We're finally here, you guys. Next Thursday night, June 13th, our very first concert here in the city of Santee.
For the year.
Yeah, for the year, exactly.
40th year of doing this. 40
Yeah.
years we've been doing the concerts in the park. Started off back at the Little League fields where they were now,
Yeah.
and then it went to Trolley Square.
Yep.
And when we outgrew that, we took it over to Town Center Community Park East, and now we
About
got what we got.
14, 15 years there now. So next Thursday is Cassie B. She sings. She's been out before, but she sings top 40 hits.
Yeah.
actually. So kind of that 40th anniversary,
Good job, Joe.
top 40 hits. She's whatever's happening in the pop culture world, and she'll be singing it. I guess,
We
right?
wouldn't know about that because we're old and
Yeah, we're a little
don't know
over
anything about
the
today's
hit
top
stuff.
40, I guess. All right, this is the gin.
Gin.
All right. So look. Oh yeah, you could really smell that.
So it's like most gins, has the cardamom, has the juniper, the horse root, coriander seed,
Oh,
all those
yeah.
qualities to it. We throw grapefruit peel in there as well.
Ah,
So that citrus that you pick up is the
Nice.
thing that kind
Yep.
of breaks
Yeah.
up that
A
pine
little
quality.
citrus at the end.
It is.
Really good. Yeah.
Yes, this makes a good cocktail.
So like I
once
said,
again with some.
I'll give you all a little tip too. If you come over here and you buy a bottle that's 50% off here this coming week, Scott will talk about what his hours are roughly. Hopefully you come before the next concert. You can take this to the concert. You cannot have the glass in the park. You need to pour it into another plastic cup, red solo cup, something like that. But you can partake with his beverage at our concerts next week. Or 4th of July with Santee Salutes coming up. Hint, hint.
Thanks for the plug. I appreciate that.
I mean, technically it doesn't have hard alcohol out there, but it's all right.
Hey,
Nobody's looking too close.
I don't condone any of that.
Yeah. All right, so from now on, every Thursday, starting next week, every Thursday through July, we will have a free concert in the park. It definitely is a family event. You will see lots of kids running around. It becomes like a weekly high school reunion because everybody that went to school here and what the hell? Everybody that went to school here from elementary all the way through, you're gonna run into each other. You're gonna run into the families of everybody that you've known forever right here in Santee. And if you don't know anybody yet, this is an opportunity to get to meet some people because we're all creatures of habit. We all tend to sit in kind of the same areas every single time. You get to know your neighbor sitting around you in the grass there while you're enjoying an amazing concert every single week. And there's always food and drinks there as well. So if you don't feel like packing a picnic or doing anything like that, don't worry about it. There's food trucks, gourmet food trucks, and then there's also, I understand that Dino
Beer
is
garden.
doing a beer garden every single week this time.
Yep.
So that's something new. We've never done that before. So Dino's Pub East here in Santee is going to be out there doing a beer garden. So come check it out. All right, what do we got now?
Now we have the silver rum.
A silver rum.
Silver rum.
All right.
This one is distilled from
Oh,
a fermentation made up of brown sugar and molasses.
Really?
Has a really good quality to it as far as the neutral spirit goes. These three products right here, I don't know if you can see them on the screen quite clearly, but they're actually the same product. The one that we're going to try right now is just unaged. has not touched the barrel. The next
Okay.
two that we'll get into, they've been barrel aging for a while. I'll go over those.
And those are rums as well.
Those are the exact same.
Okay.
Exact same batch, as a matter of fact.
So barrel aging rum. See, I heard that it can be done in a used bourbon barrel,
Sure.
and it comes out fantastic.
Right. Yeah. Actually, the very first one that we did, we aged it in a San Diego distillery former bourbon barrel.
Okay.
And we only aged it for, I think it was 15 months, and it was amazing.
Oh yeah.
But this one that we're getting ready to try, it was 32, and the next one was 36. So, like, the more time you get on the wood, the more wood quality it's going to pick up, and the richer it's going to be. But it's a very dynamic
You
product.
get those. You get that caramel in there. You
Yes.
get that. Depending upon how charred that barrel was, you
Right.
get more or less of it. But the time definitely does make a difference.
Indeed.
And you can see that. All right. So the next one, I would do it the other way around, just because you're gonna.
The strength.
Yeah.
You're building up.
You got a reason for it. I know.
There's a method to my
Yeah.
madness.
All right.
So when you buy a high proof spirit, you typically throw an ice cube in it, or you're tasting, adding water as you go through, because the flavor profile opens up and it releases different types of flavors as you're going. So
The atoms actually, when you drop, and you've got these here, which I think is really cool.
yes,
So you put a little drop in there, and the atoms actually bounce off each other and break down that burn, that afterburn.
that's absolutely right.
Yeah, that's why an ice cube is usually a good idea, especially anything over 80 proof.
Right.
In my opinion. What do I know now?
What do you know?
So this one right here is 122 proof from a brand new American
Don't
oak barrel.
light a match.
Don't let it matter.
Same product though, but that's aged 32 months.
I can actually smell a little bit more.
Yep.
I wanted to taste it.
Cut it. So while we're tasting this,
Hey, so do you mind if I jump in here real quick? When I was in here the other day, I didn't know what the water droppers were for. Scott, can you explain what that is for stupid people like me?
I thought I just did, but it's okay. You weren't listening.
Are you
Producer
watching the
Joe.
same show?
It's all right.
Okay. Actually, my AirPod died, so I couldn't hear anything. So I apologize for that. So then my part two of that is those labels are beautiful. Is there's any way to get one close up to the camera at some point? The labels are just beautiful. So sorry about that. Everything's okay now.
got it.
I was like,
This way.
actually, no, yeah, I just did it right.
Yeah. Let's get it straight. There we go. So this is what we're tasting right now. The barrel aged rum.
Yeah, my partner Angie put those together. She's responsible for the entire face of the business. So all of the imagery, all the graphic design. For the longest time, she was responsible for a lot of the content on the social media and everything. Absolutely brilliant what she's done with the face of this company. And I think the bottles, the labels, they really match the quality of the product that we were wanting to get into those bottles.
Yeah. That is really good. You definitely taste the oak in there.
Right.
Yeah. That's good. Trotter just didn't taste anything. He just put it down.
Yeah. Kind of rough on things like that.
Like I get a lot of people who come in and they want to shoot things, and it's like
Right.
So the idea is especially when you're dealing with a high proof spirit, is to put it in your mouth and let it sit on your tongue. Roll it around in there. The saliva will mix with it and it will tamp it down to make it a little more easy to consume, and then you swallow it. Like it's pretty hard to take 122 proof to the esophagus, because after a while it'll start to dry up and it's uncomfortable.
It's gonna leave a mark.
Right. And then back to your question, Joe, as I was saying, like typically with a high proof spirit, folks will add an ice cube or they'll add drops of water, because as you're drinking, as you're sipping on it, that ice cube is melting. That water is changing that profile dynamic to make it opens it up, and it's less peppery, less hot, and it'll start to get more fruity qualities to it, floral qualities. It depends on the spirit that you're doing. But with the barrel aged rum, I think there's a lot of like apricot kind of qualities to it. So it really opens up after time.
Yeah, I appreciate that. I had no idea. I'm not really a connoisseur on that, so I appreciate you digging into that one.
Adding a couple drops of water definitely opened that up. All right, now we're going.
So here is the same product from a different barrel, but it's the same fermentation batch. And this one landed at 88 proof. So it's a little softer. And this is more along the lines of what you're going to experience after your ice cube starts to dissolve, after you've added those drops of water. And you'll notice there's a flavor difference.
Couple drops of water. So when I first started drinking scotches and things of that nature, and I grew up less than adequately financed.
Yes.
So
Yes.
when I started being able to buy some decent scotches, some good expensive scotches, I would never put an ice cube in it. I would just push through
Right.
because it was expensive, and I just okay, I got to taste it all.
Right.
And I had a friend of mine that was like, bro, you really should just put an ice cube in there. I'm like, no, this is too expensive. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to ruin it. I'm not going to water it down.
So,
He's like,
yeah, so people need to water it down
exactly.
at that point.
Which is why you do the big ice cubes. They don't melt as fast.
Right.
But yeah, years later, I'm like, okay, now I've got to weigh anything over 80 proof. I'm either putting some distilled water in it, or just a couple drops, or putting it on a big rock.
Right.
Yeah, because it does. It changes it so much, especially when you have the cask strength types of whiskeys at that 120 to 130 proof.
Right.
Yeah, you're right. You can light your nose hairs on fire with that stuff.
It's true.
But after it's sat for a couple of minutes on a good whiskey rock, it opens up tremendously different, and it's so smooth that you get all those flavors still from not having to water it down, from not having to proof it down.
Right. And that's the thing about our spirits is every one that we developed to either be drank straight or in a cocktail. And if it didn't meet those two criteria, we would just keep working until we got to something that suited our needs. I don't drink cocktails. I drink just straight spirits. My partner, he didn't drink any straight spirits. He just drank cocktails. So there was that. It was kind of nice to have that even ground that we had to come to an agreement on with all the products before we settled.
And how long ago did he depart?
It's coming up on 2 years now.
Oh my goodness!
Yeah.
You've really been pushing hard for
It's
some
been
time here.
It's been a grind. I will be honest. It's been a grind, and it's been just Saturday after Saturday, and then weeknights. My time is limited here.
Sure.
So I find the time to get over here to do what needs to be done, and it was mostly an effort just to keep things going. But after some time, I realized it's like I don't really have a way up, so I need to stop, regroup, and then just start over again because the stakes have been raised way too high with rent, more than doubling in the last 4 years.
Ugh.
It's no longer, hey, this is our fun little project. Someday we'll probably just branch out and do something bigger with it. Now it's to the point where it's like, stop, regroup, let's get going.
Yeah, and unfortunately, we hear it all the time. It's not just here; it's kind of everywhere.
Right.
It's a struggle. Rents keep going up, but incomes aren't coming in at the same level. Spending's getting a little thinner. People are watching their spending a lot more right now because everything's costing more, and so the rent's going up and your income getting lower. That at some point
Someone's
got to give.
Someone's got to give.
So I'm glad that you're doing it before you're in a position where it's
Right.
You know.
And another year of this, and I would be in trouble.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm able to recover right now, but if I pressed on, something tells me that this would probably be a whole different outcome than what I'm going through right now.
And once again, you still have that ability to come back
Right.
a little stronger, a little more, maybe or maybe not another partner, but
Right.
better financed and be able to push on and do bigger. The product's really good.
Thank you.
Yeah,
It's really good.
that's no doubt. I mean, this is an amazing line that they've created here, and it's something here in Santee that we all can be proud of. And
We just need to make sure he comes back to Santee.
It's bittersweet, I guess. You know.
Yeah, we just gotta make sure he comes back to Santee when they do it.
I can assure you 100%. If this does get rebooted in California, it will be in Santee.
All right,
There's
I
no
love
question
that.
about it. So the support that I've had in Santee has been fantastic. I love it here. I've actually moved my house here, so
Okay.
I intend to be here in this community. So
Very cool.
Yeah.
Very cool.
we landed here by happenstance.
Really?
Yeah, we found a Craigslist ad. It was under $900 for this space, and we were like, we got to jump on it. And that was back when it was just a hobby. We were learning how to do this, and
You had a good club. You had a good clubhouse.
exactly.
You had a good clubhouse for $900 a month.
Fun little man cave.
Yeah.
And we started out with nothing. We had blue barrels in here, a couch, and a still. And folks would come in, and we would just be sitting there, and we'd look around like, how did you find us? And they'd have a look on their face like, what are you doing in here?
This is a garage.
Yeah, exactly. And it's like, hey, I promise we're licensed. There's a license on the wall right over there. It's just funny, But we acquired everything here over time, and it's like, as we had the money, we would buy it. As we had the need, we would research it, we'd figure it out, and we'd get it.
Yeah.
So,
You even did your storage up there. And,
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, you made the most use of this space that you possibly can. Your barrel stands and
I
all
could,
that.
realistically, I could pack it even forward. I could cram this space, but
You do. Go
The
floor,
electricity.
floor to the ceiling,
Right.
Utilize every vertical space.
I've
as
been
much
to
as
Liberty Call
yes.
when they were in Spring Valley. I guess
Yes.
they're moving here now, but
they're actually right next door to me. They're 2 doors over from me over on
Oh,
this court. Yeah.
Great
So-
group.
Yep.
yeah. So I went to their place in Spring Valley and talk about packing it in.
Yes.
Oh my goodness!
Yeah.
How they knew which barrel to get to, and because
Right.
they were so deep and so
The
wide.
space they're in now is like a third smaller than what
Oh
they
my
were-
gosh.
they were in.
Oh,
I
really?
can't even
Yeah, that's what he
imagine.
told me. I didn't see the
I
space.
can't
before,
even
but
imagine.
He told me it's smaller.
Well, it probably doesn't have all the. So that one had a bunch of front office space
Yeah.
that
yeah.
didn't
No,
get
it's
utilized.
One office.
Mhm.
Yeah, that back area. Wow.
Yeah, that's the thing is
All right. So
What
we
do we
talked
face
about
now?
the summer concert series starting next week. In 4 weeks, you guys, we have Santee Salutes. That's our pinnacle coming up here in 4 weeks. This is where we really represent Independence Day here in the city of Santee. We're really proud of the fireworks show that we have. It's the longest
It is-
fireworks
it
show
is
in the
the-
city
yep.
of county of San Diego. Super proud of that. And so if you guys have never been out there, talking about 10, 15,000 of your neighbors and friends in our Town Center Park East, come out and see it. But Rob mentioned concerts only go through July. That's actually wrong. They actually go through August 15th.
August 15th.
August 15th is the last concert for our concert series, and this year is a Jimmy Buffett tribute band or cover band. I'm not really sure which one it is.
Closing it down.
It's closing it down. So super cool, excited, brand new band that we're bringing out this summer, and I think it's kind of fitting, obviously, with Jimmy Buffett's passing this year. It'd be really a fun kind of,
That would be a great vibe. There'd
great
be a bunch
vibe,
of parrot heads out
bunch of
there.
parrot heads, as they say, right?
Yeah.
They are, but
That's what they love. They're parrot heads. That's
So-
there's parrot head clubs all over. There's a parrot head club of San Diego.
Yep. So the climax of the summer, that should be a fun night that night.
Yeah, but like you said, don't forget 4th of July. That is
Yeah.
all right. So that is like our concert in the park on steroids. So there is a
Yeah.
concert. There's a performer out there from 3 o'clock on, all the way through till 9 o'clock. There's rides out there. There's all sorts of once again food and everything for the kids. It is a wonderful day in the park. You can spend the entire day out there. Please go online, try and get pay for your parking now because parking is at a premium.
Yeah.
So if you don't have a parking pass or don't get a parking pass, make sure you Uber over, or there are some shuttles at different places around town. But look those up because parking is definitely at a premium. He's not even joking. There are typically between 10 and 15,000 people that show up at concerts in the park at that concert in the park there for us for Santee Salute. So be sure to jump online and get your tickets for parking as soon as possible. The concert is free. The fireworks are free. Parking, unfortunately, is at a premium. So get out there and get that done today. All right, what are we trying now?
this is the brandy.
This is a brandy.
This
All right,
is a 6-year brandy.
you're a fine girl.
Oh.
This one also brand new American oak, 6 years, like I said, and we did proof this down to around 82 proof or so. So it is a little more delicate. I have a brandy that I just bottled the other day. I'm working on labels right now. It's at 127 proof. So from here out, I have 2 more barrels to go after this one that I just dumped. They're all going to be cash strength.
And when You say dumped, he didn't mean dump like thrown away.
Not
That's
down the
just a
drain,
term,
right?
That's
In
just
a bottle.
term.
Put in a bottle.
It's taken out of the cask. So, yeah, it's not dumped because I had somebody tell me that they were dumping 50 gallons. I'm like, wait! Don't do it! And then I realized, then they explained to me what that meant, and I felt a little ignorant.
Right.
So,
Without the proper bottle, though, we can't sell it. So
Right.
we would actually have to dump it if it weren't properly packaged.
but you're going to have proper packaging,
Proper
and all of
packaging.
that stuff, and have plenty to sell.
Absolutely ready to sell. Yes.
All right, this is good.
Yeah.
I remember as my bartending days
Mhm.
that all wines are not brandy, but all brandy are wines, and it starts with wine base.
Okay.
And then it's distilled,
Right.
and that's what brings up your alcohol content.
Right. Yeah. If it has the name brandy on the bottle and it's just brandy, not apple brandy, not peach brandy, then it's known from the grapes. So there's once you get into brandies and bourbons and things like that, there's a laundry list of rules, and you are held to account by the federal government. You better not mess with those.
Yeah,
They don't.
bourbon is the only patented alcohol in the U.S.
Right.
There is a U.S. patent on bourbon. Bourbon has to be produced in the U.S. Otherwise, it's not bourbon.
Right. Right. It's a
And
touch American oak.
51%.
51% corn.
Corn.
Yeah.
It has to be
Whiskey or
virgin
something.
American oak.
Virgin American oak. That's exactly right.
Yeah.
So there are certain specific rules when it comes to certain spirits that the federal government is all over. So as far as the federal government goes, all they care about is your labeling, your packaging, and your excise tax. Are you paying that?
Yeah.
Everything else is left to the state.
I think you did that backwards. They care about the excise tax,
Yes.
and then
And then
the labeling and
always the money
first. Yeah. Most importantly, they care about the excise tax.
So I'm gonna bring this in one more time so you guys can see I'm getting in the middle here. So see obviously the very beautiful label, that packaging, but there's a whole bunch of words and letters and numbers on this thing here that actually mean something. And so it makes the uniqueness of this distillery here. That's a very small batch. I don't know, I'm probably hitting it all here, but basically small batch tells you all your information about everything. It's super cool to see how unique it is.
Thank you.
How many bottles are produced in existence of
Right.
this batch?
This one I think was 142, and I think I'm more than halfway done with this batch. I think I only have 3 cases of that left. The new batch that I just bottled, I got 102 bottles out of that because for some reason Angel Share just went crazy on that one, and I lost quite a bit of volume. But
What is Angel Share?
Angel Share is kind of what you lose as time goes by. You're putting your spirit into a wood barrel. So the water that's actually in your spirit is going to soak into the wood, and through time it's going to dissipate out through the wood.
Which is why I think Santee is so perfect for distilling,
Sure.
because we have hot days, cold nights.
Right.
So in the hot days, it soaks right up into that wood, and in the cold nights, it pushes it back in, and that's where you get so much of that coloration and blending and just the flavors of that wood.
Right.
I think Santee is perfect for
And I
distilling.
mean, like expansion and contraction
Yeah.
kind of concept, right?
Yeah.
Where wood's soaking that water into it and then it's letting it back out.
Right.
Depending upon the weather. of course.
And the dryness of the air too.
Right.
It
Yeah.
really
Yeah.
gets it out. So
So in Kentucky, which a lot of people think that's the only place bourbon comes from is Kentucky, which
Right.
is not true, but there's a lot. That's the majority.
That's-
But they
that's
have
staple.
They have warehouses that are, that are 5-6 stories tall, and they rotate barrels at different levels so
absolutely.
that you get that full rotation. You get, because you're going to have a difference going in and out at the very top than you will at the very bottom. It's just crazy, all the science that goes into something that you can't put a science to, because every stave of a barrel may have come from a different tree, so it may have a unique flavor. So yeah, that's why when you get to the Jack Daniels and that type of stuff, they're all blended because they're trying to get the same flavor every single time.
Right.
So they blend different barrels to make sure they get that same flavor, versus a small batch may have a unique flavor per bottle.
Absolutely.
Or per batch, rather, because of that very thing.
When it gets to the location or the
Geographic?
Yeah, location. But elevation is where I was going. It's like Colorado, for example, right?
Yeah.
But it's going to be all totally different of how you do the science of it in Colorado than down here in San Diego.
It could be. Yeah, it could be. Yeah. It's like I've always said, you give 10 people the same exact recipe, the same exact everything to produce the same spirit, you're going to have 10 different products.
Right.
No doubt about
Without
it.
a doubt.
No doubt about
If
it.
they're in different barrels and different locations, they're going to have just different barrels
Sure.
alone.
Well, even the bacteria that floats in the atmosphere wherever you're at, those are yeasts. There's yeast bacteria floating everywhere. So the stuff that is adding to the character of my product here is not going to be the same in another state somewhere.
Right.
So it's going to change the product that way too.
All right, got one more to go, and
All right, we're still going. Still with us.
This
By
one
the way,
here-
these are like less than a half-ounce shots here that we're getting.
Yeah.
These are, it's just covering the bottom of the glass.
yeah, they're just like a dram for the most part, 1/8 of an ounce or so.
1/8 of an ounce. There we go.
there we go.
All right, what is this now?
So this is the Star Anise flavored vodka.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I smelled that right away.
Wow.
And
That almost smells like Sambuca.
that's exactly along the lines of what this is.
Huh.
But with a Sambuca or an Ouzo,
I'm like,
Ouzo, yeah.
you're talking a spirit that is more of a liqueur.
Yeah.
So there's
Yeah,
sugar added
okay,
to it.
okay.
Yeah.
And it's at a lower proof. So it's around 20-ish proof
Okay.
usually.
30.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. It's lower. This one is around 80. It's an 80 proof spirit, 40% alcohol. And then the sweetness that you get from it is all picked up from the flowers because we actually distill the vodka over actual Star Anise flowers. So, but I will say, it's like eating black jelly beans. If you don't like black jelly beans,
Right.
you're not going to like this.
See,
It's-
and
it's love it or hate
I don't like black jelly beans, but I like this.
it. Okay.
I like Sambuca.
Yes.
I don't like black licorice, don't like black jelly beans,
Yeah.
Right.
but I love Sambuca and I love this. With a good cigar.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, you didn't like it.
No, this is not my jam.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I
3
have-
coffee beans and we're ready to go, baby.
I get people who apologize. The fact that you actually tried it
Oh yeah,
is
no,
a positive thing.
I'll try anything once.
Like, I'm so sorry I don't like it. And it's like, well, you don't have to drink it. I mean, it's,
Yeah.
it's
No,
totally
it-
acceptable.
And maybe as a liqueur or in a
that's-
mixing
that's
with something
fantastic.
else, but by
Oh, that's
itself,
fantastic.
is not my preference.
Yeah, this was my favorite.
And mine too. I
Is it
bought,
real? Okay,
I
all
bought a
right.
bunch of cases for myself. But
Yeah.
Okay.
that with just ice and soda water,
Oh, I bet.
it tamps down that
Well, soda water
Star
usually
Anise
has a little
flavor.
bubbly in there.
Yes.
It has a little.
It's so refreshing.
That makes a little. Like I said, when you put it with something, I think it'll balance it a little more.
So I've tried several things. I've tried blackberry, I've tried blueberry, and these were like syrups and stuff. So I'm not muddling from scratch with some sort of raspberry or something.
Mm-hmm.
But I think those little bush berries would probably be the best thing to work with on that. And I've not been able to find anything as far
That
as
mixes with it.
right.
Yeah, I don't. Once again, you still have that black licorice
Yeah.
taste a little bit. What mixes with black licorice? Nothing.
Not a lot.
Nothing.
It's a standalone.
It is. It
All
is
right,
either
so-
this or not.
Let's tell everybody
Once again,
how you can get these. What time frame, what days you're open, hours. What's the call for the next month here?
So next 2 months.
2 months.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm open-
June and July, basically, right?
Yep.
Essentially,
August
yeah.
3rd being the last Saturday, so you got just about 60 days left here.
Right, and that's dependent on sales too. So
sure,
it's,
of course.
my intent is to be open every
So
Saturday.
you mean you want to sell out here like next week?
Right,
Okay.
right. And I've had some weekends that are slammed, and I've had weekends where there's like nobody comes in. But that's the way it goes. But I'm open on Saturdays from 1 to 7. And if you want to come on a different day, because that doesn't work with your schedule, reach out to me through my website, through Facebook, Instagram, and I will do my best to
All right.
accommodate.
Thank you, Joe's got the address up there. Do you want to put what is the website?
It'll just be coppercollardistillery.com.
CopperCollarDistillery.com.
Right.
Perfect.
And I'm also on Facebook and Instagram.
So every Saturday until August 3rd from 1 p.m. to 7 p.m.
Essentially, yeah.
Essentially? Okay.
Yeah.
Shall we hit it?
And anytime in between, just Saturdays.
Just Saturdays is all
Just
I'm
Saturdays.
open.
That's
Yeah.
all we're able to do.
Right.
And every single bottle you see right here, all 7 of them, are 50% off.
Which is
50% off.
what's
Exactly.
that range?
So my lowest one right now is the vodka with tax. It's under $13, and then the highest price one right now, sitting around $37, $38 with tax, and that's the cap strength barrel aged rum.
Okay.
But the new one I'm going to release. I'm not quite sure what the price point is going to be on that yet.
It'll be somewhere in
But
between.
somewhere in
there.
that neighborhood.
Yeah. All right.
You get out of here under $40 per bottle.
Without a doubt. Yeah.
Without a doubt.
And I mean this is like you said, it's an artisan
Yeah.
spirit. It's definitely something better than you're going to find in any of the stores. Yeah, it's quite phenomenal. Come check it out this Saturday, next Saturday, this after that. Keep going all the way until you get to August 3rd. That will be it. But don't wait until then, because if it sells out before then, he's done. He's out. Until the next chapter. So, Scott, thank you very much for your time, bud. Really appreciate it.
Thanks, sir.
Oh, but before we leave, we got one more. We're going to talk about one more event next week. So next Thursday, the podcast is going to be a BMS. It's,
Babes and Brews.
Babes and Brews. We'll be talking about that next week, 3 o'clock or 3:15 on the podcast. Be sure to check it out.
I think that segues into the following Tuesday too, which we'll talk about maybe next.
Yes, we will. We
Right.
will. We have the gorgeous ladies of Santee.
You talk about that
bartending.
next
Okay,
Thursday.
all right. That'll be coming in a couple of weeks. Check that out.
Bring all the ladies out.
Yes.
Week after week here.
Week after week. We will talk to you real soon. Ladies and gentlemen, take care. Thank you for joining us. We'll see you next week. God bless you. God bless America. And God bless Santee. Bye-bye.